We can also call the little old men pulling the puppet strings from behind the curtain by the collective term, globalists. These are the faces we don't usually see, and the rhetoric we rarely if ever hear. They like it that way. So, where are all their billions of dollars and piles of deceitful tripe trying to take us, and why? A lot of people are asking these questions, and not just in America. But these dark forces lie to us anytime it's convenient. And they deny anything that threatens them and slash or their agenda and always blame somebody else when they get caught. For several years now, the globalists have been conducting a scheme to see how much we the people will put up with and what they can get away with absent any pushback. This scheme was officially launched at Event 201 in October 2019, which was a conference organized by the Gates Foundation and was comprised of billionaires, bankers, and global elites like Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum. If the WEF was there, it's a clue to the mindset of the attendees. They even gave out cute little stuffed COVID virus toys reminiscent of a happy face. Ironically, this meeting was held a month before the first case of COVID-19 was even reported in China. But they met in a 3.5-hour pandemic tabletop exercise that simulated a series of dramatic, scenario-based facilitated discussions, confronting difficult, true-to-life dilemmas associated with response to a hypothetical, but scientifically plausible, pandemic. Planning ahead, were they? Let's see. Who is the father of all deceit? You can find the answer in the Bible. Switching gears now, here's another head-scratcher. Radical Marxists and atheists of all stripes go ballistic when they see a Christian cross on public land. But Satanists would be okay with it if allowed to put a statue of Baphomet beside it. Either way, God is increasingly considered unwelcome in our society because of nothing more than the personal, not legal opinions of a mere handful of people in black robes demanding separation of church and state and claiming a constitutional predicate for it that doesn't exist. A lot of this has not happened in America among generations gone by, so most of us are in denial about it. Or if it has happened on a slow scale previously, it is now running like a pair of cheap pantyhose. The one world government paradigm would require abolishing nation states, and everybody on the planet would have to submit to the rule of the few elitists who are at the time of this writing working diligently to realize that goal. Using every means at their disposal and hiding in plain sight, their well-crafted rhetoric is designed to wrap their words in terms that camouflage their true plan and make evil seem like a sacred gift. So, people need to start doing their own thinking. Stop believing every word they hear on television. Realize that just because a talking head says something on TV, that doesn't make it true. Question the motives of journalists, especially the broadcast journalists, and recognize the corporate media no longer possess journalistic integrity. They are no longer responsible purveyors of information. They don't report news. They manipulate what you think, how you behave, and especially how you vote. We are being led astray by nothing more than a propaganda machine designed to lead the sheep to slaughter. That's why the left has captured the media, especially the cable-based broadcasters. The New York Times, a widely read newspaper with name recognition, and the Washington Post. Oh, wait. We already mentioned deceit, and that's what's happening through companies we thought we could trust. Learn to recognize it. As we now know, according to the Bible, the pre-planned, predestined one world government will eventually signal to those who have an ear to the ground and an eye on the sky that the biblically prophesied end times are at hand. As mentioned previously, many of the predictions made by Jesus concerning the end times have been happening over the years, especially when he talked about wars and rumors of wars, nations rising against nations, kingdoms against kingdoms, and predicting that there will be famines and earthquakes, etc. Notice, too, that people who describe themselves as church-affiliated are decreasing. The Apostle Paul predicted 2,000 years ago that there would come a great falling away, from religion. And Jesus will not come back here until that happens. Apparently, it's happening. Jan Markle has posted an interview on YouTube that shows how even churches are beginning to follow the woke ideology and ordaining homosexual ministers to preach the gospel and morality. Not long ago, the left set its sights on the Southern Baptists and believe if they can flip them to the left, they can turn the whole Southern United States into blue states. So, the right pieces on the chessboard are all aligning in the predicted and necessary places. Was a doddering, cognitively struggling old fool who didn't always know what state he was in, calls his vice president by the wrong title, will sign anything put in front of him by the corrupt Democrat Party's most radical operatives, who were put into total power over the federal government by God because he is getting everything lined up for the final countdown to the end of the age? If so, are you ready? If you're not, check out the Bible. It's full of information you need to know about how to prepare. So, hell might be a good choice of words in answering the opening question, and it pretty much describes what we're experiencing now. As we've said, God and Satan have been at odds since the beginning. That seems like an awfully long time to carry a grudge, but I guess even the Titans need a hobby. Let's unpack some more of the details and examine the structure of the forces gathering against us. As a spin-off of the God-Satan hate fest, a plethora of people have evolved and have deliberately joined or were seduced to join Satan's ranks.